Boy, them boy was throwing, boy.
Roach came up. Roach normally fights at 130. He came up to 135.
Hey, listen, they got a rematch. They got a rematch. That fight was good. And obviously, I've seen a lot of boxers come out and say, Tank lost. When I looked at the scorecard, I think maybe going into round 7, maybe 7 or 8, maybe 7. I think Tank was up on the score.
I expected to see a knockout. I expected to see it come at the hands of Gervonta Tank Davis against a dude that I thought was undersized, that I thought was not on the same level.
Roach is not just your average everyday opponent. Roach is the person who knows Tank, who's been around Tank his whole life. This is a different fight. You can't put.
Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp have discussed the Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach rematch, expressing surprise that the first fight ended in a draw instead of a knockout. They believe the rematch will provide a much clearer decision as both fighters will make adjustments to prove who truly deserves the victory.
I expected to see a knockout. I expected to see it come at the hands of Gervonta Tank Davis against a dude that I thought was undersized, that I thought was not on the same level. And my God, was I wrong. So I thought it was apropos that on this particular day, more than a week after Lamont Roach showed up at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York, and let everybody know, I'm no joke either. Y'all don't know who the hell I am. I'm here to reintroduce him to the world. A guy that many believe should be the lightweight champion of the world in the sport of boxing. The one and only Lamont Roach joins me right now.
Lamont Roach delivered an exceptional performance in the first fight, demonstrating sharp skills and a well-thought-out strategy. Although the bout ended in a draw, he proved he could compete at the highest level in the rematch. Roach has the opportunity to refine his approach, focusing on speed and precision to secure a decisive victory by making slight adjustments and maintaining his composure. He can ensure a dominant performance. His ability to adapt and learn from the first fight will be crucial, improving his superiority and leaving no doubt about his win in the highly anticipated rematch.
That next game, what do you do that you didn't do the first time? Is that a valid question?
Well, I don't know if he pitched a shutout, but he definitely fought a perfect
game.
Perfect fight for him, for that fight, right? So above and beyond what we've ever seen from him, something that people who knew him personally knew that he has that in him, but being able to do it on the big stage underneath those lights, that's a whole different thing. He was able to do it. It was packed in there. It was 19,000. I was in the room. I mean, they were literally booing him when he was on Megatron above the ring. So for him to walk into hostile territory, perform the way that he performed from beginning to end, I mean, I tip my hat. It was amazing. But in terms of pitching a shutout, I don't agree. It was a very, very close fight.
No, but what I mean is the perfect fight. Can he elevate from that?
Yeah. No, I absolutely understand. So in terms of can he elevate his performance? Yes and no. I don't think he can do anything that he was once he really found his rhythm better, because I think that was literally his catch and shoot, his rolling, his ability to catch those punches, his mindset when he did get touched, his ability to walk through. But I think he could be a little smarter in the way that he cuts off the quadrants of a 12-rounder. Understanding what a 12-rounder, how to fight a 12-rounder is a skill that takes time. You have to go 12 a bunch of times. You have to be world-class guys. Being able to be a little busier for early on to make sure that you understand that you are the B-side. You need to make sure these judges absolutely know that a doubt in their mind that you won that round. Being a little more aggressive early on, letting the hands go a little earlier, putting the exclamation on the points in the early rounds the way they did it the later rounds, I think will make a big difference in how he could actually improve on winning.
Stephen A. Smith admitted he was wrong about Lamont Roach, saying everyone owes him an apology. He initially thought Roach was too small to fight Davis, but was shocked to see Roach look and fight like the bigger man. Roach stayed aggressive all night, taking Davis's best shots and firing back.
And came right back. I'm believing him. I didn't see him hurt or anything like that. I get that part. I saw him hurt when he got popped with a counter from Lamont Roach, and he stumbled backwards because he got hit with a shot while throwing a punch in an earlier round. So I'm certainly not going to do that. Here's the important point to mention. All of us got to stand down and give Lamont Roach an apology. I thought that brother was going to get beat down because I saw a dude that was a bantamweight champion. I said, why are you moving up to fight this guy? Why is Gervonta Davis taking this fight? This guy's too small. What the hell is going on? He was a featherweight champion. You're a lightweight. What the hell is going on? Why would you take that fight? I didn't understand it. What I didn't know is that once Lamont Roach stepped into the ring, he would be the bigger fighter. What I didn't know is that once he was in the ring and he looked like the bigger fighter, he fought like the bigger fighter. Because ladies and gentlemen, from opening bell, he walked right to Gervonta Davis. Walked right to him and stayed in his face all night long. If he backed up at all, ladies and gentlemen, it was 5% of the...
In the first bout, Lamont Roach exposed Tank Davis for his long-standing pattern of carefully selecting opponents for years. Tank has been accused of cherry-picking fights that favor his strengths while avoiding real challenges. However, this time his strategy backfired. Roach came prepared, proving that he was no easy opponent and that Tank's usual approach wouldn't work against a well-disciplined and strategic fighter.
That fight with Tank and Lamont Roach shows y'all how protected Tank has been for the past several years. And the people saying, oh, Tank know Lamont and he disrespected Lamont because he fought in the amateur. Man, he was cherry picking Lamont, you know, and really thought he was gonna get that win. But Lamont wasn't coming to play around. You know, he stood his ground and fought back. And to be honest, he won the fight. The rematch is gonna be a knockout.
Stevenson analyzed Roach's performance. Emphasizing how well he executed his strategy, Stevenson had previously sparred with Roach, which gave him first-hand experience of Roach's skills. Confident in Roach's abilities, Stevenson bet on him to win the fight, while Tank is undoubtedly fast. Stevenson pointed out that Roach's exceptional defense played a crucial role in neutralizing Tank's offense, making it a highly competitive fight.
Saying like, you know, that's something that y'all would do. You sparred him out before, right?
For sure. Yeah. Actually, he was the one who got me ready for Oscar Roberts.
Oh, Lamont Roach did?
Yeah, Lamont Roach was the guy who really got me ready for that fight.
What was the work like?
It was good work. It was good work. You know, honestly, that was one of the reasons why I bet tonight. Because I knew what I was in the ring with. Like, I knew that he wasn't no pushover, he wasn't no slouch. And when I seen that, I said, okay, when he fight Tank, I know that it's going to be the fight that I assumed it to be honest.
Hold on, because you was saying that, I ain't gonna lie, you was on Twitter been saying, like, you feel like, I don't know, you didn't say Lamont was going to win, but you just kept making it like, you know what I'm saying? I don't even know what you were saying, but you kept alluding to Lamont was going to do something. So, like, you saying you seen this, the way the fight played out based on how your sparring session went?
I'm not going to say how the sparring session went just because of the fact that I'm a different fighter than what Tank is.
Yeah.
And it's like sparring and fighting two different things. But I knew what I was up against when I was sparring him. Like, I knew the skill level. And I also, like, I watch boxing, so I go back and watch. And these guys go back and watch, and they looking like, okay, well, he was in front of this guy, so it was this, but styles make fights. And I know that Tank is shorter. He's fast, but Lamont got good defense. And I just knew exactly how that fight was gonna go. I told everybody that Lamont was gonna be the one pushing forward. Tank was gonna be the boxer, and it literally looked exactly how I thought it was gonna look.
How did you see the actual fight? Like, let's break it down, because you was ringside. You sat, I saw you on Twitter. They showed the videos of you ringside.
Stevenson further elaborated that Tank's fighting style in this bout was uninspiring. While Tank had a few good moments in the fight, Steven believed that Roach had the upper hand overall. He felt Roach was more precise and consistent in his attack, making a strong case for his victory. Tank may have landed some powerful shots, but they weren't enough to decisively turn the fight in his favor.
Winning, I really felt like he was in control of the fight. I think Tank had good moments, but I feel like when he was boxing boring, he was more so in control. That's when he was kind of like in control of the fight for me. And when he kind of like tried to fight, I felt like Lamont was on point.
A rematch between Tank and Roach is highly likely, especially since Tank himself has expressed interest in running it back. However, it's uncertain whether this will be his immediate next fight. Tank has other names on his list, and he may want to redeem himself in a different matchup first, before facing Roach again. Regardless, when the rematch does happen, Tank will be looking to reassert his dominance after being embarrassed by the unexpected outcome of their first encounter.